James Adams with your Northern Kentucky Football Report, brought to you by Northern Kentucky Pain Relief and Physical Medicine, getting you out of pain and back into life. It's the Region Championship week here in the Bluegrass State, but before we look forward, we're going to take a look back at two outstanding careers that came to an end this Friday night. At Connor, Cameron Fogle, career 153 catches, 2,074 receiving yards, 14 receiving touchdowns. On the ground, 1,691 rushing yards, 29 rushing touchdowns, 44 total scores, 7 interceptions, 4,723 total yards, 55 catches, 885 receiving yards as a senior, 7 receiving touchdowns, another 865 yards on the ground with 16 more touchdowns as well, 239 total return yards, 1 kickoff return for a touchdown, 50 tackles on defense, 3 interceptions. Not only was he great on offense and defense, an average of 43 yards a punt, almost 2,000 all-purpose yards as a senior. Cameron Fogle will be sadly missed at Connor. Coach Trosper will have a tough time replacing the do-it-all senior. In Campbell County, they miss another guy who did a lot of special things as a senior and as a career student. 3,505 rushing yards, 56 rushing touchdowns, another 2,077 passing yards, 12 passing touchdowns, 48 total scores, 4,218 all-purpose yards. As a senior this year, 1,917 rushing yards, 27 scores on the ground, another 1,542 passing yards, and 11 passing touchdowns as a senior. Tyler Durham, who played receiver, played defense, he played quarterback his senior year, led Campbell County to back-to-back district championships. Coach Lickard will have a tough time replacing him. As we now move forward, the team that knocked the Campbell County Camels out of the playoffs, Simon Kenton, they're going to play Scott County for their region championship in 6A. Simon Kenton got the revenge against the Camels 29-21 this past weekend, while Scott County decimated Henry Clay 70-7. Doesn't get any easier for the winner of this game, as they will likely face Trinity, the national power, who takes on St. X this week. Should Simon Kenton advance, and Trinity would as well, a rematch of the state championship game a couple of years ago. In 5A, it's Cooper at Franklin County. Cooper was the 3 seed in this district, but managed to advance further than anyone else from the Northern Kentucky side. They knocked off South Oldham, the district champs, 49-28 this weekend, and Franklin County, in a barn burner, won 62-59 over Connor. Should be a good game, as Cooper, with 1 loss, could have easily been the top team in that district. In 4A, a big rematch this week, Covcath at Highlands. Covcath had a 45-15 win over Johnson Central, a team that had knocked them out of the playoffs 3 consecutive years prior to last season. So while they get past that one big foe in the playoffs, they come to another one. The biggest one they always have every year is Highlands. Highlands, a 52-13 winner over Ashland Paul Blazer. While Highlands did lose to Elder earlier in the year, it's been over 30 games against the Bluegrass team since the Bluebirds have lost. It's going to be a tough one for Covcath. Walton Verona and Newcath will face off in 2A. Walton Verona just slipped by Lloyd last week, 33-26. Newcath started the year poorly at 2-4, but a heavy front-loaded schedule proved to pay off for the Thoroughbreds. They won 52-0 against Holy Cross last week. They're on a roll and knocked off the defending state champs. They're a tough out every year in the playoffs, and they will be again this week. In the small school bracket, it's Frankfort at Beechwood. Frankfort was a 26-0 winner over Bellevue, while Beechwood was a 63-16 winner over Paris. Beechwood started off slow this year as well, but they're rolling as they always do in the playoffs, so it'll be a solid matchup against teams who both had big wins this past week. This report has been brought to you by tristatefootball.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter @TSFootball.